one of the guys that get a lot of credit is Steve Blackman from Muscular Development. I mean, those guys have done an extraordinary job for years and years and years to promote health, to promote fitness, to promote strength, to promote bodybuilding, powerlifting, weightlifting, and all of those kind of things. So the contributions they made is gigantic, and I hail them for that.
Ron Harris here from MuscularDevelopment.com, wrapping up our coverage of the Arnold Classic weekend here in Columbus, Ohio. Coverage brought to you by High Tech Pharmaceuticals. Here with Giles Tiger Thomas, of course. So we had 3 divisions finish off tonight. Of course, we had men's physique. Defending champion Andre Ferguson came back, won it again. Not a real surprise, looked great. He's over there right now. Women's bikini. Janet Laug finally had the big win here. I know she's been trying and trying. It was very emotional. She was crying during the, trying not to cry during Arnold's interview. But let's get right into the open bodybuilding. That's why we're here, folks. Quickly mention a couple guys that were not in the top 6. Rafael Brandao. What do you think Rafael needs to do to move up next time?
Absolutely nothing but just time. He's 25 years old. He's got plenty of time. He's moving. I mean, I saw him 2 years ago at the San Marino. He is making improvements every single year now. 2018, he did about 5 shows last year. We saw significant improvements then. He's come back this year, and he's made even more significant improvements. And he really held his own. He was in the first call out. He's doing absolutely fantastically. I told him yesterday, you need to do nothing different. Just keep doing what you're doing and keep those aesthetics.
Australia's Josh Lenardowitz. I was a little surprised. He was not in the top 6. I mean, I didn't have him winning, obviously, but I could have seen him somewhere around 4th or 5th for sure. Do you think he was placed where he should have been placed?
I had him 4th or 5th as well, and he was definitely sharper tonight. His tan was better tonight, but I said to Steve, he's probably about 6 to 8 pounds off peaking. I mean, absolutely fantastic. He can get that off in 2 weeks, and he can probably win Australia. I think it was from the back. It was the same when I saw him at San Marino in 2000. It's not San Marino, sorry. The Tampa Pro in 2017. It looks great from the front, but he definitely needs to get drier from the back because that's where he needs that detail, especially with someone that size. But yeah, he's probably 2 weeks off peaking absolutely beautifully.
One man who did peak 100%, a big man, Steve Kuklo. Steve goes about 260 on stage. You know, massive delts, quads, just a big, wide guy, and he brought the condition. Do you think that was about where he should have been? 6th place in this field, a really good field?
I knew he'd be top 6. Yeah. It's funny though, because I think if you actually added up the people we knew would be in top 6, there was probably about 8 guys in that top 6. Yeah. So unfortunately, Josh, guys like Rafael, it was one of those guys that was going to get, or 2 of those guys that were going to get knocked out the top 6. And Steve made 6th place. He looked as good as he did last year. I think he faded a little bit tonight, but at the prejudging, he was so full and thick, and his proportions are fantastic. I've got no arguments with him being 6th place.
Yeah. Switching mic hands. 5th place, Rolly Winkler. Rolly, I disagree with you. Obviously, we don't always agree, guys. We're not the same person. We're different. I thought Rolly did a fantastic job of dropping that water and fat. Not quite enough that he needed to. He really wanted to win this one. He didn't do what it took. And like we said earlier in the day, the key with Rolly seems to be staying in Kuwait. Yes. The longer he's in Kuwait, the better he looks, because it's training camp environment, boot camp environment. No distractions, no cheating on the diet, nothing like that. Eat, sleep, train, repeat. And that's when Rolly looks his best, and he's going to be looking better and better as the season goes on because that's his pattern. He spends most of that time between now and the Olympia in Kuwait. Yeah. But 5th place, do you think he should have been even lower? Where'd you have him?
I had him 6th or 7th.
Okay.
Yeah. He pulled it around a little bit for tonight. Actually, quite a significant amount, but he was still 15 pounds over. He's still not. I don't think he can even pull that around in 2 weeks. I think he needs like 4 weeks. 4 weeks of really, really, really intense prepping and dieting, and past that 4-week part, I think he could win any pro show. But I think he's even wasting his time doing the Arnold Australia. I really do.
Yeah. So Brazil is a little further away. Brazil could be the show for Rolly.
He'll win that one.
And then that gets him in a nice place to go into the Olympia at his best, like he was last season. Yeah. 4th place, Cedric McMillan. Cedric had a really odd odd thing in his posing routine where he had hidden a blindfold on stage. He put the blindfold on and posed with it for a good half or more of the routine. Was that one of those bizarre things you've ever seen?
It's pretty much up there, yeah. Yeah, that was, I mean, Cedric's a very creative poser, and what can you say about Cedric? Thing is, Cedric doesn't actually put his routines together, he makes it up on the spot. Yeah. So but he obviously pre-planned that thing because he brought it on stage and he put it down by Arnold's statue. Right. And then he just put it on and started posing, and it was like, but that's Cedric, he's a creative genius, whatever you want to call it. He's
unique. He's very unique. There's nobody quite like Cedric.
That's the perfect word, unique.
Okay. But condition-wise, he looked pretty good. He looked pretty good for Cedric. I've yet to see Cedric just shredded hard as nails. I don't know if we ever will. He's been a pro. This is turned pro almost 10 years ago now. He gets pretty lean. I don't know if he's capable, honestly. I don't think everyone's capable of that really crisp, dry, grainy condition. Do you think if he really pushed it a little harder in some aspects, he could?
Well, I saw him at the 2017 San Marino when he beat Brandon Curry. And he looked pretty much perfectly peaked there. I mean, it's all with the glutes and the hams. But now it's that midsection. Sometimes at the judging it seems to go. As soon as he walked out, I knew he wasn't going to win or he wasn't going to make top 3 because it was the same how it was at the Olympia in 2016. 17 and not 18. He looked good in 18, but it's all the telltale sign to see if Cedric's in really good condition. It's his midsection, and he flattened it out a little bit tonight. He looked a little bit better tonight, but I think he should be happy with 4th. He should be happy with 4th, and he should do some more shows.
So probably the breakout new guy of the show, second season as a pro. Luke Sando from the UK, all the way up to 3rd place, well-deserved.
Fantastic.
Very solid 3rd place. So thick, so complete. The color looked good. He was in great condition, posed with confidence. And I know you've known about Luke much longer than most of us.
7 years.
7 years. So, you must have been happy. But you saw this coming probably.
Well, I messaged Luke at about, when did I go back up to the room? About 3-4 o'clock? Yeah. I messaged him, I said, you've got 3rd. And he said, well, I came for top 6, so anything higher than 6th, he said, is an absolute bonus for me. He said, so I'll be, I think I have made top 6. I said, oh, you made top 6. I said, you've got 3rd. Yeah. So I'm absolutely thrilled for Luke because, like I said in the earlier wrap-up, the photos he sent to me were, I said, I expected you to look like that in a year or 2. Yeah. But these are the photos I saw of him earlier today with his tan on. It's what I expected from him in the future, not now. So I'm absolutely thrilled to see what he has pulled round because he's been so hit and miss with his he's been one of these guys. It's like, look, watch out when this guy gets together. But how many bodybuilders have we seen that never actually end up getting it together? Luke did today, and he told me he wants to go and win the Indy Pro because he took 3rd place there last year. I think he will. I think he's got a very good chance of winning it, and I think he's got a very good chance of making top 3 at the Arnold Australia as well in 2 weeks.
And just to put it out there, he's tremendously popular because he's so hardcore, so strong, trains very, very heavy. It's, there's not a lot of guys these days that train quite like that. He reminds people of the Dorian era, when you had guys like Dorian and Nasser that were just moving crazy weights. So, yeah.
Also, he's never lost any strength. He said to me at the interview we did at the meet and greet, and he said, Giles, he says, if I'd wanted to, he said, I could have pulled 900-pound deadlift off the floor. Wow. He said, I could have done that. He says, I didn't want to because I don't want to injure myself. He says, but I feel like I would have the strength at like 2 weeks out from this contest to do that. So he's obviously doing something right, and he's doing something right. Okay.
So we knew it was going to be a very, very close race between William Bonac and Brandon Curry. Weren't sure which way it was going to go, but before they did the awards for top 6, they came out with the Most Muscular Award, which I think they've skipped that for a few years. Was this the first time they've had it in a while?
I thought they'd done away with it, but do you know what? When they used to do it in the 90s, I always saw it as a consolation prize for the person that wasn't going to win. As soon as he got William Bonac got the Most Muscular Award, I said to Steve, I said, William's got 2nd. Yeah. William has got 2nd. Now, William, I actually had winning based upon the judging earlier today. Yeah. But tonight, it's not that William faded. I think it's Brandon got a lot better. So that tiny little gap was just enough to edge past. I mean, it was still a flip of a coin even tonight. But Brandon edged him.
Where do you think, if you were a judge, why would you have given it to Brandon?
Brandon, Williams' midsection was a little bit distracting. There's something going on around his second ab area. A few people pointed it out to me, actually, as I was watching the show. And I don't know what needs to be done. I don't know whether it's to do with, the gut, as in, bacteria and stuff. I've seen people with, I don't know whether it's distension or is it in his abs or there's a tube. Is the muscle too thick? I don't know.
My theory is when you have a short torso like that
Yeah.
and you pack so much muscle onto a frame like that, he's very reminiscent of Kai Green, and it was always a struggle with Kai, that midsection, because you pack that much muscle on a frame that's not very large and the torso is not very long. Where's it all going to go?
And Kai was a good 2 or 3 inches taller, wasn't he?
Yes,
so
he was.
On someone even shorter with that much muscle, it's going to. There's Brandon there. So
Brandon on the rise for sure. I mean, he just made top 5 at the Olympia for the first time. Now he's the Arnold Classic. He'd already won, the Brazil and so forth, but now he's the Arnold Classic Ohio champion, the big one. This puts him in a really, really good spot for the rest of the season, especially leading into the Olympia.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be the one that was. I thought him and Josh were going to be the two that were going to be stepping up, like really stepping up. I thought that they might even be 1 and 2 in the lead up to the show. Josh didn't quite hit the mark here, but Brandon has really moved up. I'm so proud of him. I messaged him earlier and I said, I actually WhatsApped him as in the room as well. And I said, I think you've won it, mate. I think you've won it. And he went, he says, well, thanks for your support, and I hope so. And yeah, we'll see. Sort of thing. Yeah. So I'm absolutely thrilled. Absolutely thrilled.
So, Brandon Curry, your new Arnold Classic champion. We're going to grab an interview with him. Make sure you watch that. All the contest photos are up. We got some video up. All kinds of things. There was a play-by-play thread where everybody throwing in their opinions and arguing and getting angry with each other. It was cool. Check that out on musculardevelopment.com. And that will do it for the 2019 Arnold Classic from Columbus, Ohio. Coverage brought to you by High Tech Pharmaceuticals. For Giles Thomas, Ron Harris, thanks for watching.
One of the guys that get a lot of credit is Steve Blackman from Muscular Development. I mean, those guys have done an extraordinary job for years and years and years to promote health, to promote fitness, to promote strength, to promote bodybuilding, powerlifting, weightlifting, and all of those kind of things. So the contributions they made is gigantic, and I hail them for that.